Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm Ron Baird, visual development artist and art director for projects such as Disney Lorcana and feature films like David. I've learned a lot in my career about designing for animation, and now I'm going to share everything that I've learned with you guys. Here's a clip from my upcoming course. Make sure to subscribe so you can get more tips like this, and stay tuned to the end of the video where you can learn how to get the first lesson of this course absolutely free. Thanks for watching. All right, I want to talk a little bit about simplification here. So I pulled in an image of a cornstalk, right? And I want to talk about how to go about simplifying something seemingly complex. So this has a lot of information, too much information for us to really copy. If you were to try and copy it, you would get lost in all of these negative shapes and all the different shapes you see in here. But that's okay, because designing for animation, and actually just designing in general, whether for animation or painting or fine art or whatever, all incorporates the same principle of simplification, or analyzing and interpreting. So here we have too much information for us to draw, really, if we're trying to copy. So we don't copy. We analyze, and forgive me if this is spelled wrong, and interpret. We use the tools that we've been talking about to analyze and interpret what we're drawing. Let me show you what I mean. So, essentially, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is essentially a cylinder. And it has these kind of stalks popping off of it. Right. Now that might not be that's not how I'm going to go about drawing it, but that is how I'm thinking about it. Although even that interpretation itself might not be so bad. But first, let me think about an interesting shape. Let's see here, something maybe like this. This also gets into simplifying and amplifying. I'm going to simplify the amount of leaves I see and amplify the ones that I see. I'm going to make these little sprouted grains a little bit bigger because I want it to be abundantly clear what kind of a plant this is. This is like a wheat stalk, right? I don't want ambiguity. Ambiguity is not good in animation. Subtlety, I feel, is overrated when it comes to design. Now, there's place for it, but I feel like oftentimes, in an attempt to achieve subtlety, we don't make a definitive statement. I feel like exaggeration is actually making something on the nose. Usually is a little better than making something too subtle. That's my personal design philosophy. I'm not sure subtlety is always what we want to achieve. Now, I'm going to think of this as one big volume. And usually, where the light meets the shadow is where you're going to get. So, in this case, this edge right here, it's where you're going to get most, or a lot of the kind of detail. Right, I'm going to use some mass in here to kind of break things up, maybe a line or two. Maybe some darker masses here near the bottom. And we got these big leaves, or I guess this is probably, I don't know, is this a corn husk or a corn stalk? I'm not exactly sure. I said wheat, but I think this might be it. I don't know, I'm not a farmer. I should know. I should know these things, but anyway. And you see how, now I'm going to add some floaters in here, right? Maybe I want to add some things in the back. Remember we talked about side 1, side 2, right? Front and back. Maybe I want to add some things here behind to push that feeling of depth. Now how you want to go about it is up to you. Maybe you want to draw this back stuff first and then draw the stuff on top. That's probably a smart way to go, right? You don't need to necessarily follow my approach. I'm just saying this is how you would go about taking something that's complex and analyzing and interpreting it to simplify it. And then we can, if we wanted to, let me try using some of the other tools we have. Let's try and lighten this up a bit. Remember, we said line, we have thick, medium, thin, and also light, medium, dark. We can use any combination of these things. So I'm going to make my outline a little darker, a little thicker. Let's see what kind of effect that yields. Add a bit of mass there. Anytime you get too much line, mass can be a nice way of breaking that up. It's like, oh, there's so much line here, it's getting a bit noisy for my eyes. I can erase shapes out. Now some of these aren't necessarily the outline, but I'm darkening them because I want them to come forward. Alright? So that creates a nice effect too. It really helps me see the silhouette pretty clearly. Now we could create an eye path in here too. Right? We talked about that. Like, let's create a little, put some multiply. Oops, well, darken's okay. Here's my little eye path. Now, within this eye path, that is where I'm going to put most of my information and detail. Okay, so maybe I want to cut some things out here. Maybe I want some darker recesses inside here. When I say detail, I also mean that's where I'm going to put most of my visual contrast. So it's where my darkest darks are going to go. that's going to help the front of this really come forward. I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing this, but this is going to help. Right, there's my eye path. Now that front starts to come forward while these sides start to recede a little bit more. You see how that's done? So this is how we analyze and interpret, right? This is although I don't necessarily draw this, this is how I'm thinking. This is an abstraction of this. This is an even further abstraction. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe for more tips like this. If you would like the entire first lesson of this course for free, and also if you would like to be notified when the full course is available, go ahead and put your email in the emailing list. Just follow the link in the description, type in your email, and you'll receive an email where you can watch the entire first lesson of this course absolutely free. Okay, thanks for watching.